This story is about a woman who enjoys sewing clothes as a hobby, and how her sister-in-law, who once harshly criticized her interest, finally gets a taste of her own medicine. It's quite a satisfying and entertaining tale. Let's delve into it together. Please subscribe and like our channel.
Hello. I thought I'd write about a fun encounter I had with my sister-in-law not too long ago. I'd appreciate it if you could read this casually. My sister-in-law wasn't like this before. But ever since my husband and I decided to get married, she's been belittling my hobbies. I enjoy sewing and often make clothes as gifts for my friends. But she said all sorts of things to make my hobby seem pathetic. However, recently, my sister-in-law's husband and other family members highly praised my sewing skills, right in front of her. I wish I had taken a picture of her expression. I also made a set of clothes for my mother-in-law, just to show her, and my in-laws praise me a lot. Again, right in front of her. My husband and I dated for 4 years before getting married. I started meeting my sister-in-law fairly regularly after dating my husband for about a year. Because she seemed bright and cool, I didn't mind meeting her and her boyfriend together. Plus, she and I are the same age, and we even went to high schools next to each other, so we had mutual friends. We met like friends. My husband once suggested going on a trip with her and her boyfriend. But I didn't really feel comfortable with that. Maybe if they were just friends, but anyway, I felt a bit weird. She asked me what was wrong, but since I had a vague feeling that I would marry this man, I didn't go on the trip with them. She wanted to meet me separately to go shopping and chat. But I didn't meet her separately. I just felt some sort of uneasiness. My boyfriend asked me what was wrong, but I just didn't feel like it. My friends also advised against it. They said things like, "Why are you meeting with her and her boyfriend? When you could be dating your boyfriend, don't ever do that." I have a hobby that I've been doing since college. It's sewing clothes. I didn't do it a lot because it was just a hobby. I occasionally made simple dresses or skirts. I still do. Even when I was in college, I made clothes that were of higher quality than most clothes sold in stores. I often gave them as gifts to my parents, cousins, friends who appreciated handmade items. Some people really love receiving handmade clothes as gifts. When they light up and thank me after I tell them I made the clothes, it makes me really happy. Also, when I feel grateful to someone, I like to give them clothes that I made myself as a gift. That's why I've continued this hobby of making clothes. After my older sister got married and had a child, and my cousins started getting married and having children one by one, I made children's clothes for them, and they all really loved them. Sometimes people react negatively or make negative comments. But I just don't give those people clothes that I made as gifts. I also enjoy the process of making clothes with a sewing machine, because it helps me clear my mind. After my husband and I decided to get married and had our formal meeting with our parents, my sister-in-law started picking fights with me for no reason. She started criticizing my hobby to the point where it was really ridiculous. She gleefully said in front of my in-laws, when we were visiting, that my hobby was poor and pathetic. She said such things as, "Why do you struggle so much to make clothes when you could just buy them? It's not like you can't afford to buy clothes. It's pitiful, it's a hobby for grandmothers." She harshly criticized my hobby. I was stunned, and since we were in front of my parents-in-law, I couldn't get angry and just let it slide. But her comments kept coming back to me, making me angry. She'd occasionally poke fun at my hobby, and there were times when I wanted to grab her by the hair. Even when I was pregnant, she made such tasteless comments. "Are you going to make clothes for the baby when it's born? People will think poorly of you. The baby will be pitiful." It would break my heart if my nephew became an outcast. She even went as far as cursing, and I had no idea why she was doing this. Recently, I had a satisfying experience. My Sil also has a 13-month-old child. I have a friend who went to elementary school with my Sil and high school with me. Because of Sil, I got back in touch with this friend. This friend's daughter is gorgeous. As soon as she catches an adult's eye, she smiles brightly. I gifted this friend's daughter some of my handmade clothes a few times. The friend loved them and said that her daughter really liked the clothes I made as she grew older. The little girl loves yellow, so when I make her yellow clothes, she wears them a lot. Sometimes, my friend sends me pictures of her daughter wearing the clothes I made when they go on trips. This makes me very happy. It makes me want to make more clothes for her. A while ago, my Sil's family met with this friend's family. Sil's husband saw the clothes I made and praised me, saying they were amazing. The friend's daughter was wearing a yellow dress I made, and he said she looked very pretty in it. The friend and her husband said that the fabric of the clothes I made seemed much better than the clothes they bought, and that the clothes lasted longer. While Sil's husband was praising me, Sil's expression kept getting worse. Sil's husband asked me honestly if it didn't cost a lot to buy good fabric to make these clothes, and I told him honestly. Whether it's because I buy fabric in bulk or because I use better fabric, just the cost of the materials is more than buying clothes. My mother-in-law, who was listening, said, "It's a high-end hobby." Then she asked why I hadn't made any clothes for her, and I said I didn't have the skills to do so. Sil's husband kept praising me, saying his friends told him my skills were better than ready-made clothes. The more he said that, the worse Sil's expression became. Sil's husband asked if I could make clothes for his son, but I couldn't think of a way to refuse, so I dodged the question, saying I wasn't good at making boys' clothes. He mentioned that I had made a shirt for his friend's daughter, and said he would pay me for the fabric and labor if I would make one. I was trying to find a way to refuse when Sil stepped in. She got irritated with her husband, saying that they could just buy clothes for their kid. Why did he have to ask for handmade clothes? So I said, "I'm sorry to my uncle, but the truth is, I'm good at making boys' clothes too. But it's a bit embarrassing to make clothes for your son. Your wife often said my hobby was pathetic, and asked if I was trying to become rich by saving money. So I said it was a bit embarrassing to make clothes for your son." Sil's husband looked at Sil in surprise, and Sil didn't know what to do. My husband made a cool comment. "Can anyone wear the luxury clothes my wife makes?" I felt very refreshed when he said that. My mother-in-law then said, "Our daughter-in-law had a feminine and luxurious hobby." Sil's husband said to my husband, "You're lucky, bro." And my husband said, "Of course, I regret not taking a picture of Sil's expression at that moment. It was a waste to only see it by myself." When we got home, my husband said, "Your brother-in-law really wants you to make clothes for his son. Why don't you make him one?" I firmly said that I would never make clothes for Sil's child. I asked my husband if he didn't know what Sil had said to me, and he suddenly changed his attitude and said, "That's true. The luxury clothes you make should be gifted only to people who appreciate their value." My husband may not know anything else, but he has a knack for making people feel good. If only he had a knack for making money. After that day, I made a dress for my mother-in-law. She loved it. My father-in-law loved it even more. He said it was a perfect fit for his wife's unique body shape, and that she could wear it for a long time because I could repair it anytime. He was very happy, and Sil was there when he said that. All day long, my parents-in-law and Sil's husband praised my sewing skills. I thought I was overreacting to Sil's criticism of my hobby. But now that my hobby has been recognized as a high-end hobby, I wonder if Sill's feelings are hurt. The more Sill's feelings are hurt, the more refreshing it is for me. Oh my. Sill is family too, shouldn't we be nice to each other? Am I being too harsh?
It seems like the sister-in-law was jealous of the writer's feminine and luxurious hobby. The writer is someone with both great manual dexterity and writing skills. She also seemed to have a big heart. It appears that she will receive many blessings in her life.